Hey everyone, and welcome back to this $1,400 stimulus check update, third stimulus package update, which on a daily basis is adding considerably to the news items and to the items that are being budgeted and being written into the new draft of the American Rescue Plan, Joe Biden's stimulus plan. And like you saw in the thumbnail, that is not clickbait. They are actually talking about $50,000 worth of student loan forgiveness. We're also going to be talking about those monthly stimulus checks coming in the form of child tax credit, what that's going to mean for the rest of the year, what that's going to mean come tax time. Also some information on SSI SSDI, and if you qualify for the stimulus checks, as well as the $200 per month increase in Social Security that Joe Biden had promised a couple of months ago when he was laying out his plans for this stimulus package. All kinds of news coming out today, so I'm going to dive into this with you. Hey everyone, my name is Randy. Welcome back to the Late Night Grind, a brand new YouTube channel that I just started. Well, hang on, it's not exactly brand new. I've had this channel for about 2 months now, and we're approaching 18,000 subscribers, which really blows my mind, honestly. So I just wanted to take this time to say thank you if you are a subscriber of this channel, for taking time to subscribe, for participating on the polls in my community tab, commenting, smashing that thumbs up button. It's just been super exciting to see. So a big heartfelt thank you to you guys that have been doing that. But if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and joining this community. It's super easy. All you got to do is tap that subscribe button, tap that bell notification icon, and you'll actually be notified when I release new videos. And if you want to support this channel, the easiest thing to do, just by hitting that thumbs up button, helps out with the YouTube algorithm, and I would greatly appreciate it. All right, well, let's get into all the stimulus news. We're going to start off with the monthly stimulus checks in the form of child tax credit payments. It was just kind of mentioned in passing over the past couple of weeks, but now is really being ramped up. So if you have children or any dependents really under the age of 17, the Ways and Means Committee is actually writing into the draft of the stimulus plan a budget that expands the child tax credit from $2,000 per child per year up to $3,000 per year if they're 17 and under, and up to $3,600 per year if they're ages 6 and under. Now, what is being written into the budget right now is they want to take those tax credits, break them up into monthly payments, and send them out to the parents or whoever is claiming these dependents. So if you have a child under the age of 6, you qualify for a $3,600 credit. It's not $3,600 monthly, it's $3,600 for the year. What they would do is break that out into monthly payments. These would start in July. These would not start right now. Keep that in mind. That's an important piece of information there. These would start in July and go through December. So you'd have July, August, September, October, November, December. So you'd have 6 months worth of this child tax credit payment coming to you per child. So if you have a child under the age of 6, you would qualify for a $3,600 child tax credit. So basically what they're doing is taking approximately half of that and sending it out in the form of monthly stimulus checks. So a child under the age of 6 would get $3,600, and that's broken up by 6 months payments, July to December. 6 payments would equal $1,800 that you would receive for that one child. The other $1,800 would then be deductible from your income as an additional child tax credit on your tax return. And you would actually get this money on every single child you had under the age of 17, and a little bit more money for every child under the age of 6. Now, this does have a phase out for higher earning individuals. It's currently written that the phase out would begin at $200,000 per year per single and $400,000 per year as a couple. Anything over that, it would get phased out no matter how many child dependents you have. And that's the other thing, there is no cap on dependents in this bill, at least not as of yet. That could change, but as of right now, it doesn't matter if you have 1 kid or 12 kids listed as dependents, you could be receiving this money on a monthly basis. Now, I wanted to get into this student loan debt forgiveness story that's really starting to explode online, through the media, kind of everywhere. And it all started when, back last year, the Democrats had mentioned about a $10,000 student loan forgiveness program that would allow anybody to basically get $10,000 of their student loan debt from any federal loans forgiven, just completely wiped away. Now keep in mind, this wasn't for private loans or other loan programs, it was only for federal student loan programs. But recently it was put forth by many progressives, including Chuck Schumer, who said, we now need $50,000 of student loan forgiveness on all student loans through the federal student loan program. AOC has, of course, been backing this up, tweeting it out and putting pressure on Joe Biden to move forward with a plan like this, to include this in the stimulus package. The thought process from their standpoint is that all of this student loan debt creates so many monthly payments that a lot of people can't afford, even if they have a college degree. Now, from the studies, it looks like there's quite a bit of people with student loan debt that far exceeds the $50,000, even $100,000. So they would still even have some of that loan debt to pay off, but the amount that they would have to pay off on a monthly basis would at least help alleviate that, and they would be a part of stimulating the economy. By having that extra money, the thought process is that they would take that extra money and use it for spending on bills and pump it right back into the economy. Economists have actually done some studies on this to see what would actually happen, and they figured out, unlike what Democrats actually want to happen, is this would actually benefit the higher income earners the most rather than the lowest income earners. And so the theory goes, just like these stimulus checks, that if you take this money that people owe, rather than making them pay back this big loan that for some people is very tough for them to afford, they would be able to save that money and put it back into the economy. But it's the same thing with the stimulus checks. They did a study of last year's CARES Act on what happened to all these stimulus checks that were sent out, and they found that 65 up to 70% of the stimulus checks actually just went and sat in people's savings accounts. And it's not because they didn't have any bills or things that they could pay with it, but it was largely because of the fact that when all these shutdowns and layoffs were happening, people were putting this money in the bank and basically saving it because they didn't know when the next paycheck was going to come, they didn't know when the next stimulus check was going to come, and what was going to happen. Economists are now figuring the same type of thing might happen with this student loan debt. If these $50,000 chunks are actually forgiven, and the people with the student loan debt don't have to pay that extra $100, $200, $500, $700 student loan payments every single month, that they would be able to save that money and put it into the economy. But economists are now saying, well, probably what's actually going to happen is that they're actually just going to save that money and keep it in their bank account for a rainy day, similar to the stimulus checks from the CARES Act. Now, from my opinion, I agree with what one person said in the comment section, and I've actually seen this in a few other YouTube videos as well. In that when people only get one-time stimulus, or maybe once or twice per year, the idea is that they just put it in a savings account and keep it because they don't know when the next help is going to be. And the thought is, if we get monthly stimulus checks, people will be more apt to spend it and put that money into the economy as soon as they get it, rather than just keep it, save it, invest it, pay off debt, things like that, that don't necessarily help the economy. But let me know what you guys think. I want to know in the comment section down below if you have student debt. If a large chunk of your student debt was wiped away and you could save $100, $200, $500 per month on your student loan debt, what would you be more apt to do with that money? Would you be more apt to put it in your savings account and not touch it? Or would you be more willing to actually just going out and spending it, knowing that you're going to be saving all that money every single month? I'm really curious to know. Go ahead, drop a comment down below, and I want to hear some real world experiences. And finally, talking about SSI and SSDI, I put a video out earlier this morning basically explaining that if you're on Social Security or disability, that just like the previous stimulus packages, you should be eligible. There's nothing written so far that is excluding anybody from getting these stimulus checks from Social Security or from disability. The other question I've been seeing a lot is, well, what about the $200 per month raise, Social Security raise that Joe Biden basically promised when he was running for president? What happened with that? And after extensive research and tons of articles and interviews, and actually the text of the draft of what the House of Representatives will be voting on, I wasn't able to find anything on the $200 per month stimulus for Social Security. That is, other than the initial speculation of the proposals that was actually put out there months ago. As soon as I hear something definitive, or I read something definitive and I can see that one of the budget committees is including it in the stimulus plan, or that there's an announcement that it's going to be included in the stimulus plan, you guys will be the first to know, as I will put that information in one of these videos. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And don't forget, support this channel. The best thing you can do, hit that thumbs up button. Really helps out with that YouTube algorithm. And I'll see you guys on the next video.